We're live.
All right.
It's about 30, 45 seconds.
It's cold one at the ballpark yesterday, man.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. I saw the
Bad.
photos that
Yeah.
posted. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. Remember, pray that the service is good this whole time, please. Give it about a minute and we'll start.
Man.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, welcome back to a brand new episode of Beyond the Bank Phillies podcast, off-season edition, part 2. I am your host, Pete, along with my co-host, Henry. What is up, my guy? How you doing?
Doing all right. Now I'm at the point where spring training seems like it's around the corner, but I just wanted to get to February.
Yeah, dude, it's like, I don't know. It's been a quiet off-season so far, at least for the Phillies. I know there's other teams that have made, moves
There's
and
one
stuff
other
like
team.
that.
There's one other team. There's no other team. There's one team that's made moves.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just like it's just getting me more and more excited for the season to start again. Especially now that it's like colder out now, I'm just like ready to just get the spring and get the summer and just have baseball back, man. Like it's just I'm ready. I just I can't take it anymore. I need it back in my life.
Yeah. I can't wait, man.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Like I said, it's been a quiet off season so far for the Phillies. Not much has really been going on. But there have been some, rumors, some, moves made in the front office. But players like, Bohm has been out there. Cassie has been apparently put in some trade talks. Even JT, I saw a report, a couple weeks back that they were thinking about maybe putting him in trade talks and whatnot. And it's kind of been surprising, especially with guys like Cassie and JT, but which I don't think they would move them, to be honest with you. But a guy like Alec Bohm wouldn't shock me.
I don't see the reason to trade Bohm. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like I understand, like now he's getting to 28, 29 or however he's going to be, however old he's going to be on opening day, but it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, unless you're getting Alex Bregman, which I don't want him anyway, to be perfectly honest, because, you saw the Boris report. They want, 11 years, 350 or something like that?
Which is a lot.
That's unfathomable.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. And Bohm is a good player. Let's not forget he started the All-Star game last year over Manny Machado.
Yeah, true.
He's a good player. I understand that now he's entering his prime, and he does need to get over the attitude problem. But at the same time, throwing a couple hissy fits is not enough to get you off the team. It's not. Sorry.
Yeah, and going back to the Bregman thing, I know I was in on Bregman and talking about listen, bring him over, he could be a bridge guy until a guy like Miller's ready. But at that asking price, man, I don't know. I just don't think it makes sense for us, especially if we're just looking for a bridge guy. If we do end up trading Bohm, it does happen. But if that's the case, and we really can't find a good trade partner, and there's other free agent third baseman out there asking for too much money, then we might as well just keep Bohm at this point. It's just we might as well.
I would hate to see him go for just something that we could just offload him.
Yeah. Well,
honestly, it just makes no sense.
Now, and here I'll bring up a question though, which I was going to get into eventually. But Garrett Crochet, do you put him in a trade with Garrett Crochet?
Nope. I don't want Garrett Crochet.
Okay.
I don't. And I don't know how you feel on it, but the problem for me was when he had that attitude problem saying, oh, well, I'm not going to, and I'm kind of out on the whole, well, there's the vibes of the locker room or the vibes or that. Yeah. I don't really care about that right now. I do want them to be a nice unit.
Yeah.
But, I don't want Garrett Crochet. I don't think I would trade Bohm for him, and I 100% would not trade one of our top 5 prospects for him at all. Like him packaged, like one of those guys packaged with Bohm, it makes no sense. It makes no sense because I'm not going to go through the process again with watching Maikel Franco take at bats. I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, and I'm referring to Garrett Crochet because Bob Nightingale came out with a report about like 6 days ago. He said the Phillies have spoken about Bowman outfield prospect Justin Crawford and extensive trade talks with the Chicago White Sox for starter Garrett Crochet, but the White Sox are concerned with Bowman's struggles the second half.
The White Sox got a lot of nerve.
Yeah, they have a lot more to worry about than Alec Bohm struggling the second half. With an injury, by the way.
You had the worst offense ever. Ever.
Yeah, no, I don't know, man. It's the whole Garrett Crochet situation. It's just weird to me, especially with, the demands that he has and whatnot. And I just don't know, obviously he probably would be a good fit here. And he's a very young player and he probably hasn't peaked yet. You know what I'm saying? It's just like he hasn't gotten to that moment yet. So I don't know. It's just,
I'm not trading the farm for him, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't know about giving up Justin Crawford. I really like Crawford.
I don't want to give up I don't want to give up Crawford. I don't want to give up Aiden Miller. I don't want to give up any of those. I'm not giving up Andrew Painter.
No.
And then I saw a report that it was a possibility of Crochet and Luis Robert getting traded to like as a package to the Phillies. It was an idea that was thrown out there. I was like, what? Why? Because we'd have to give up everything, and guess what? Those guys come from losing culture. That stuff carries over to wherever they go. Some guys, it's not the case. Like Harper and the Nationals really weren't all that. Like they made the playoffs and stuff, but they were all that. But he's a consummate professional. Like that's Bryce.
Yeah, for sure.
But when you it's loser energy, and I'm not going somewhere unless they extend me, dude. Kiss my ass. I don't want to deal with that.
Well,
I'm sorry.
I get the part of I guess he's feeling, he wants to feel secured, I guess, like on a team and knowing he's going to a new squad. He wants to make sure he has security and that he's not just going there for maybe 1 or 2 years. You know what I'm saying? He might want to be there for a long period of time.
I get that. And I know he's had injuries in the past and stuff, and he wants to have that security. But, dude, not everybody gets that. And I know you had a good year or whatever, and Scooble had just pitched out of his mind and won the Cy Young.
Yep.
And if Crochet did what he did all season long, then he probably would have won Cy Young or been a close candidate.
Yeah.
But I mean, how often have we seen this happen and a guy goes somewhere and he's crap?
True.
It happens a lot.
Yeah. Speaking of Cy Young, Zach Wheeler should have won. I know I know people will say, well,
yeah. It's annoying, but
just saying.
The Chris Sale winning the Triple Crown, there's nothing you can do.
I mean, I get it.
I gotta say, the voting disparity was absurd.
Yeah,
four first place votes, and then that clown from the Diamondbacks decided to vote him to be 4th place. Are you kidding? Dude, you're a hater. Like that's all that is. You're a hater. I'm sorry. You're hating.
Too much.
Go win your 78 games or whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Peasant. I don't want to hear that, bro. I'm over it. I'm over it.
Yeah, no, it was definitely weird on some of the voting, and I don't know. I really felt like Wheeler might have had a chance. I know people were favorited to Chris Sale, and he had an amazing season. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that, but I don't know. It's just 200 innings pitched for Wheeler, and it means a lot to our team. I mean, if we didn't have him, I don't know where we'd be. So I'm just saying. But yeah, so and another thing I want to bring up, because I know there were some non-tendered players with the Phillies. Austin Hayes was one of them. He was non-tendered, and he was going to be a free agent. And listen, he was here for a short amount of time, and he really didn't get to show off any skills that he had just because he was going through injuries and stuff like that.
He had that unfortunate sickness.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, he won't be back. I know they brought back Jose Ruiz, if I'm correct. So that was pretty good to see.
Yeah,
him and Stubbs. Stubbs is on that split contract situation.
Yeah,
So,
Which I
there's
think that they did that because Marchand
yeah.
or Marchand
Mm-hmm.
has not been healthy much.
No.
Because I think, quite honestly, if he was more healthy on a consistent basis, Stubbs wouldn't have been on this team to begin with.
Yeah, for sure.
I know it's kind of a crazy thing to say considering what the last 3 years have brought, but I don't think he would have been on the team. Like, I don't think he would have been a Philly whatsoever. So
For
I think
sure.
that's what it is, and I don't know how it works because, like you were saying, when we talked on the phone last week or whatever it was,
Mm-hmm.
Stubbs doesn't have any options left.
No.
So I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I don't know. They said, I saw reports saying that he's going to be really competing for that backup spot for the opening day roster, and I'm gonna be honest with you, he's probably going to make the roster spot. So I wouldn't really, for the Stubbs haters out there, because obviously everybody was complaining like, why is this guy back on our team? And it's not about vibes anymore. Well, guess what? I mean,
it's not though. What if vibes want us?
No, I know. No, I'm not agreeing with it. I'm just I'm agreeing that the vibes aren't there anymore. Nobody cares about the vibes. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, how many more other options were out there for a backup catcher, especially with the situation with Marchand? I mean, we didn't know what was going to go on with that. So they just probably figured, hey, let's bring Stubbs back, familiar with the organization, familiar with the players in the clubhouse. But at the same time, he's got to fight his way for a roster spot. It's not just going to get handed to him.
Of course not. But I don't know. It's gonna be interesting because I think there's gonna be a shakeup, but I don't know who's going. I don't know who's staying. We got all those guys that are in arbitration or going to be in arbitration. So I don't know, man. We'll see.
Yeah, I just need something. I need something. So
I know.
But we'll see. Maybe at the winter meetings.
It's just boring,
whatever.
man.
Yeah. But speaking of front office type of stuff, so there was a report back on November 8th. Preston Mattingly was promoted to general manager of the Phillies. Sam Fold, who has been the GM since December of 2020, will share the duties with Mattingly. Fold is studying, his Master of Business Administration degree at the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School and will become the team's president of business operations when he receives his degree in May of 2026. A really surprising announcement out of nowhere on that day. It was just kind of out of nowhere type thing.
Yeah. There wasn't any leaks about it or anything like that. It was just out of nowhere. Yeah.
And listen, Mattingly has been highly regarded as, a good person in the front office to have. And a lot of discussion came up about, with Dombrowski, because, if he was going to be here for the remainder, in the future or whatnot, if he retires and stuff. So I think, from what it seems like, it's a good move for the Phillies. And I trust these guys that they're going to continue to do good stuff for the organization.
I think a lot of it, too, was they didn't want to see him anywhere else because he's such a good baseball mind and he has a feel for the game. I mean, he's been around baseball literally his entire life. He's Don Mattingly's son. That's Mr. Baseball. There's a reason they call him that.
Yeah.
He has been around baseball his entire life. He has an unbelievable feel for the game. It's no surprise that our prospect pool has widely gotten a lot better since he's been here. All of this stuff is no coincidence. So I'd hate to see him go somewhere else and thrive. Obviously, you would love to see him thrive with doing whatever, but you'd rather him do it here. And I think that was a big reason of why they extended him like that and why they moved him up.
For sure, yeah. And I mean, it's definitely something just to kind of get ahead of the curve. I feel like just, making sure they're set up in that front office position and trusting the guy that's going to take over for Dombrowski if he eventually ends up, leaving or retiring and stuff like that. So it's like I said, it was definitely out of nowhere, but at the same time, it felt like a move that was okay, we're not just, focusing on right now. We're also looking ahead and saying, hey, we got to make sure that, if Dombrowski does leave, that we can go to a guy who's going to continue to take on that role and, maybe do a little bit better and, just keeping the farm system, at a good spot. So definitely something good to look forward to for this organization. So So I brought up earlier that some other teams have made some moves so far this offseason, other than the Phillies, who haven't done much. So the Los Angeles Dodgers, world champions, went out and got Blake Snell. I know you felt some sort of way about this, especially with them deferring the money once again. So I don't know, man. They just keep getting away with it, and they keep getting things done somehow.
But see, this is the thing. A lot of people have, I've seen on Twitter, oh, well, if you're angry, it's just because your team doesn't do it.
Yeah.
No. The problem is you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they have all these really good players.
Yeah.
And they have these good players because they deferred almost $750 million on one single contract. For God's sake, their highest paid players are Tyler Glasnow and now Blake Snell.
Yeah,
that's not okay. I'm sorry, and if the Phillies did it, I would understand. I would understand how people would feel. But these Dodger fans are like, cry more. We won. I don't care that you won. I don't care because you had probably the best player on the planet, and you still almost lost to the Padres. Remember that? I do. Okay, then. I just have such a problem, and they just extended Tommy Edman.
Yeah.
Oh, more deferred money. Teoscar Hernandez, by the way, $895,000 from 2030 to 2020 or 2039. Unbelievable. It's absolutely ridiculous that you can defer this much of your payroll. I want to see the number of, and I heard this on the Baseball is Dead podcast.
Mm.
I want to see the number of what their payroll actually should be.
Yeah.
And what their payroll actually is. Because deferred money is BS. I'm sorry. I know everybody makes a joke about Bobby Bonilla Day and all this stuff. And that was an unprecedented thing. They owe him money for 25 years. That's completely unprecedented. So the problem is you have teams like these small market teams that are like, oh, well, we can't afford to pay these guys. We literally cannot afford to pay these guys. Now, whether they can or not, it's a different discussion. But they're like, we don't even have the output to sign these guys.
Yeah.
So forget the fact of deferring money. Like Shohei Ohtani's not taking a $700 million contract from Pittsburgh, which Pittsburgh is extremely, extremely cheap. It's been recognized and all that across the league and whatever.
Yeah.
But you have these small market teams like, I don't know, a Cincinnati or a Minnesota. Like those aren't big markets.
No.
And guys aren't going there. And to all those people that are, well, they're just doing what everybody else can do. No, they're not. Nobody is doing what they're doing because nobody wants to go to those places. But it's LA, it's the big city, and guess what? By the time that all that money's actually owed, who even knows if these owners are going to own the team or not?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous to me. I hate it. And Blake Snell is soft. He is soft. You threw a no-hitter for the Giants last year. They were probably going to offer you a decent-sized contract. And you were the first free agent, and you posted, and then he had the nerve to post the Thanksgiving. This is stupid. But he had the nerve to post the Thanksgiving post from the Dodgers. 2024 from your 2024 World Champions. Last time I checked, he wasn't on that team.
Yeah, exactly. So
bro, it pissed me off so much. It has loser energy, bro. And if Juan Soto goes there, I'm not watching. I'm sorry. I can't do it.
Well,
of course I'm going to watch.
I was going to say, yeah, we're going to watch, but no, listen, I get your frustration and yeah, I think it's a little suspect in my opinion, but what are you going to do? Listen, Rob Manfred apparently just, letting it slide anyway, so it doesn't
He
seem
loves
like
the owners. That's why.
Yeah,
that's the
exactly.
issue.
Yeah. And
that's
the thing
problem.
Is, I was looking on Twitter too to a lot of people saying they're just going to defer this money for a couple years down the road, and then eventually they're going to have to pay for it. They're just going to have to.
No.
Well, the thing I think about though is, okay, yes, when the situation comes about and they do have to pay it, they might be able to. With the amount of revenue that they make, and especially with a guy like Ohtani, his brand and stuff like that, they might be able to, down the road, and they might still be able to continue to do these type of things, is what I'm saying.
If you're getting so much revenue, then friggin' pay him now. There's no excuse.
True.
No excuse. And they're going to get Roki Sasaki. Whether people like it or not, they're going to get Roki Sasaki. And then they're going to sign him to some 14-year agreement with $1 billion deferred. So it's not going to matter. And then people will be like, well, I don't know why everybody's so mad that nobody on this team is even getting paid, but they're still winning world championships. And I don't know why everybody's so mad. Well, because their team cost 5 nickels.
Yeah.
That's why. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Listen, they're as of right now, I guess they're going to be the team to beat in the NL. So we're definitely the Phillies are going to have some competition to dethrone them. So, but we knew that, with going in a couple of years and signing these other guys, and and definitely helped with them winning it all. So, it definitely could have swayed Snell's decision. Let's just say that. So, I don't know. I was thinking about it. Like a guy like Blake Snell would have been good in our rotation, but I just don't think we really need to really fix too much in our rotation right now. If anything, it's more focused on the lineup and whatnot. So I don't know. I don't know. I was always weird about Blake Snell. So I guess I'm really okay with it.
I'm not mad about not getting him.
No,
it's
me
just
neither.
the concept of him going to the champion and then thinking he's a champion. You're not, pal. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You've been a loser organization your entire career. Not sorry about it either.
Yeah. You brought his name up though in the conversation, but Juan Soto, who has been the talk of free agency, still hasn't signed yet, still hasn't made a decision.
Of course.
We've heard some rumors that maybe after the winter meetings. Do you have a prediction of where you think he's going to end up?
Well, I think he's going to go to the Mets.
Yeah,
I think he's going to go to the Mets.
Unfortunately.
I saw a report. Now, this is completely unconfirmed. I don't have the name on it now. I didn't bookmark it. I should have. But that the Yankees offer will top out around $550, which does not really – I think that's around what he should get.
$550, okay. Yeah.
But for 12, 15 years, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think that's around what he should get, but you see, quotes from, Uncle Steve Cohen, of saying that he's going to go $50 million over whatever Soto's top offer is. So I don't think there's anything you can do to keep the Mets out of it.
Yeah.
I just want him to sign. I want it to be over with. I don't want to talk about this guy anymore. Whether we get him or not, it is what it is. Quite honestly, I don't care at this point. Go somewhere if you want. Stay if you want. I don't care. Go play in Guadalajara or something. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Just go somewhere. Go play for the Savannah Bananas. I really don't care. You know what I mean? I'm done.
Yeah, it's starting to get tiring a little bit. I mean, just having to keep hearing his name, and then he came out with that video he dropped with the Celsius sponsorship, whatever, and people were speculating that or whatever. But
come on, that's great.
It is creative, but
until you start getting into the mic colors, like you were
I
talking
know
about.
they're like, oh, well, I saw orange there. It's like, all right, relax. But but yeah, I don't know. I definitely I have a strange feeling that he might end up on the Mets. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised if he stays with the Yankees. I know the Mets, gave him a good offer, and I think with some opt outs as well. So
he wants opt outs after 3 or 4 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Bryce would never.
Listen. Yeah, exactly. Just saying. But yeah, if he goes to the Mets, I mean, listen, my hate meter for them is just going to go through the roof.
Through the roof. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's already high enough, but it's just going to go higher than that. And listen, I'll just hate even more. And listen, we'll see what happens. But I just listen, bro. Just make your decision.
I will never get over this postseason, by the way. Ever.
No, I won't either. I mean, I'm
it's
still
been 2 years in a row because 2022 was like, man, it sucks we lost, but what a ride.
Yeah.
The last 2 I'll never get over for the rest of my life. I'll be on a rocking chair on my porch when I'm 85 years old telling my grandkids I lived through the Arizona collapse and our only loss to the Mets in the postseason.
Yeah.
There's only been one series.
Yeah, I try not to think about that stuff, day in, day out, but sometimes it happens,
Well, it
just like
happens.
yeah, it
It
does,
happens all the time.
But to real quick, before we move on though, I wanna get back to the topic of the Phillies because we saw a report that came out about 5 hours ago on Instagram. I sent it to you. Phillies Insider posted it. Um, it was recently mentioned that, bearing a surprise, the Phillies are likely looking at Brandon Marsh and Johan Rojas in center field, with the Phillies getting a left fielder. Now,
Ridiculous.
there's been discussions about it, after the season, if we are going to do that whole situation with Rojas and Marsh again. Listen, I wasn't going to be shocked if it did happen again, but I would have felt like they might have went a different direction, whether that was having Rojas still on the team or even having Marshall on the team. But right now, it seems like they're probably going to be coming back.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm looking up the okay, yeah. See, now Austin Hayes is ranked the number 4 left fielder in free agency. So according to this, unless we get Jurickson Profar, Tyler O'Neill, or Mark Canha, which I want no parts of having Mark Canha on this baseball
Yeah, I'm good.
team.
Thanks.
Oh, we could get Jesse Winker. Yeah, right.
Nah, no. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it.
I don't want anything to do with this platoon thing. Like, bro, top teams don't platoon. They
True.
don't.
Yeah.
They don't. Like, I think that this is part of the identity crisis with getting, oh, well, we're this kind of team or we're this kind of team. No. Just stick to something. Everybody else does the exact same thing. Like, it's annoying. It's annoying.
Yeah, there's got to be a better option out there for us than
There has to be.
keep experimenting with this platoon situation. And listen, no offense to Marsh and Rojas. Marsh, listen, he started out last season very good, and then he slowed down a little bit. Had some injuries. And Rojas, I mean, the question with Rojas has always been the hitting situation. We know he's good defensively. We know that. It was just more of the other stuff that comes about. And we've been seeing like videos all offseason so far. I know he's playing with some of the international team or whatever. I forget exactly what name it is. Yeah, and he's been doing okay. Seeing videos of it, bunting. I know he hit a homer the other night. Which good to see, great to see. But he's got to do that at the major league level.
Yeah, do it in the major leagues. Yeah.
Yeah. So listen, and I don't know if those pitchers are scrubs or not, but I'm just saying you got to do it for the Phillies. But I don't know.
My biggest problem is you're not going to get this lockdown left fielder. You're not. Like, Tyler O'Neill is according to wins above replacement, he's at 3.1. He's the highest ranked wins above replacement primary left fielder in this free agent class. But he's not an everyday guy. Yeah. Like, he was good this past year. He was really good. He did a lot for my fantasy team, thank God. Yeah. Which didn't do me much good in the first place, but whatever. But I just I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do about the outfield situation. And then Castellanos is Castellanos. I don't know what's going on over there.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to trade him. I think Castellanos.
I don't think so either.
But I think
and people I know, mainly Gabby, she loves Bohm, and I keep telling her that Bohm's probably not going to get traded because how many years did they want to move Casty now?
Yeah.
After that first year, they've wanted to trade him every year since. So yeah, like, this is going on the third offseason that they're trying to trade him.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like there's a lot of feelers, but it's just to be like, listen, nobody on this team is safe. Yeah. But in the grand scheme, I don't think they're going to get rid of Bohm.
No, yeah, and the thing with Cassie, it's like, all right, if you get rid of Cassie, then you better have a replacement for right field, because then
that's the problem. You don't.
I was gonna say, if you don't, then you have a whole outfield problem. Then it's like, all right, great, now you got to figure out all three positions. Like,
and if you want to look up right fielders, I mean, there's Soto, of course, and then your guy Santander, and then Teoscar Hernandez. Yeah, but I don't see it, dude. I don't.
Yeah, I'll still take Santander, but then again, I did see another report with him, asking for some money. And I mean, listen, I think
how much was he asking for? I didn't see any. I haven't seen anything.
I can't recall, but it was just like I know a lot of people were commenting saying like, "Are we really going to pay for a guy who also strikes out a lot?" Apparently, so I'm just like, all right, well, I mean, listen, it's just it's more of the switch hitting type of thing that I wanted to see.
Of
have
course
us,
it is.
having the lineup. You know what I'm saying? Just to kind of.
I mean, some of our favorite guys growing up were switch hitters, so.
Exactly. So I just thought maybe it'd be a little different for our lineup. But yeah, listen, man. It's just they gotta. It's gonna be tough to figure out, and it's gonna be interesting to see what they do. Listen, if they stick with Marsh and Rojas, then we go with it, and we hope for the best because I mean they just got to perform. That's defensively and offensively, and maybe we'll find that lockdown left fielder. might take a while. Who knows? But yeah, let me do the ad read. So as we look ahead to 2025 season, make sure you are prepared with new Philly sports gear. Go to website phillygoat.com to get new Philly sports merch and use the code BTBpod for 10% off your next order. Beyond the Bank is proud to be an affiliate with Philly Goat. As always, go Phils.
Speaking of the Phils, obviously, we have a couple guys, some alumni, eligible for the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame ballot just came out.
Yes, sir.
So let me just pull this up real quick.
Yes, sir.
We have no Phillies as newcomers to the ballot, but we do have some returnees.
Yep.
Bobby Abreu, quite the guy. Rollins, Utley, and is Howard up this year?
I don't think so.
No? Okay. Rollins and Utley, and again, Bobby Abreu. Along with Manny Ramirez, Andy Pettit, David Wright, Torrey Hunter, Alex Rodriguez. So some of those guys won't get in because of steroids. But what? Am I wrong?
No, you're not. You're not. I was good. I can't help it.
I say it. That's
hey. Sometimes you have to.
Allegedly. But
allegedly.
Yeah. but I said to you earlier, I don't know why Jimmy Rollins isn't in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
If I had to pick one that actually belongs in the Hall of Fame out of him and Utley, I love Utley, but Rollins has an MVP and a title.
True.
So it makes it tough to sit here and say that Rollins doesn't deserve it. Quite honestly, I think he's a better shortstop than Derek Jeter. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again.
Yeah.
If Derek Jeter was playing in Minnesota, nobody would know who he was, and nobody would care. It's just what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I see that argument.
Hockey, I think I can't stand him. I can't stand him.
Yeah, I mean, I personally, being a Phillies fan, I'd take Rollins every day of the week.
Really?
But
okay.
Yeah, over
Utley. I was like, whoa.
No, over Derek Jeter.
Yeah.
But that's just
I think
everybody's gonna be like bias.
Quite honestly, I think Utley and Rollins should both get in. Utley, I'm surprised wasn't their first ballot Hall of Famer.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like Utley should have got in last year, and I mean, him coming back is a good sign because he has another chance. But with the newcomers, you got guys like Suzuki, CC Sabathia, Dustin Pedroia, Felix Hernandez, just to name a couple of those. I mean, those guys are definitely deserving of it.
Right.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see most of those guys in it. But yeah, I just definitely think that Utley and Rollins definitely should deserve to get in. But it's going to be determined because with the voting and stuff like that, and
I think that Felix Hernandez, King Felix, I think him and Ichiro get in this year, no question about it. Ichiro might be fairly close to a unanimous.
Probably. It's just
he was just
no question.
Like to me, there's no blemish. I guess did he win a title?
I don't
know if he did. I don't think he did. But I think it was his third or fourth at bat or something, or something like that. He had a batting average of under 300, and then he got a hit the next at bat, and it never dropped below 300 for the rest of his career. Like that's insane.
He never made it to a World Series, so he didn't even sniff the World
Wow.
Series. Yeah, so
that's crazy.
But we've seen other players that have not gotten a World Series or won one and still get in the Hall of Fame. So it's not
That
just
is
about
true.
championships.
That is true.
But yeah, I mean, I would like to see a guy like Dustin Pedroia. I was always a fan of Dustin Pedroia. Like he was a good player. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get in.
I don't think he has the name attached.
True.
Honestly.
Yeah, for sure. And then, like I said, CC Sabathia. I mean, what else can you say about him? He was a good pitcher.
Right.
And then, I mean, saw some other names up there I was shocked to see, like Curtis Granderson and Ben Zobrist. I feel like I just got done watching Ben Zobrist a couple years ago, and then Troy Tulowitzki. You know what I'm saying? Right? Like, it's just crazy seeing these guys' names that you saw, like, those years when we were terrible. And
I mean, Hanley Ramirez, Philly killer. Yeah. He was a Florida Marlin.
Yeah.
Before the Miami Marlins were a thing. Like, guys like that, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Makes me feel a little old, but.
And then going back to the returnees, one of them on there was David Wright. Right. He always killed the Phillies with the Mets. Yeah. But I mean, would it be surprised to see a guy like him get in?
Right.
It's gonna be interesting selection, like I said. But yeah, I think just Rollins and Utley, there's just no question, in my opinion. They've done enough to get in there. I mean, it just can't.
Oh, dude, I was way off on that drop under 300 thing for Ichiro. Oh no, it was his career never dropped below 300. Okay, all right, gotcha. So I was partially right.
Hey, either way, I think he's pretty deserving to get in. So,
of course,
man, Brian McCann. Hearing that name,
I know, right?
Ian Kinsler.
Yep, he was a big part of that team that was on with Nelson Cruz and all of them.
Yeah, and then guys like Adam Jones too. Remember him? He was pretty dominant with the Orioles.
Yeah.
Carlos Beltran. Surprised there. Yeah. I don't know. It's like seeing these names. It's like, wow.
I know. Yeah, crazy.
But yeah. So yeah. I mean, like, it'll be interesting to see. So we'll see what happens.
I think Utley gets in this year.
Yeah,
that's my prediction. Yeah, I don't think Bobby Abreu will ever get in. I just don't think he's all that good. But whatever.
Well, let's just hope and pray either Rollins or Utley gets in. So we'll see.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, moving on. So special announcement from us from this podcast. So first things first, before we get into that real quick, we just want to say that, as you can see, I don't know if anybody noticed yet, or if you go back and watch this, or notice it or not, but we do have merch now. We just our t-shirts. We got like a couple t-shirts. Shout out to our buddy Ryan. He has his own clothing line, and he helped us out. We reached out to him, sent him some, logos. He got some mock-ups going, and he was able to design these shirts for us. And they just came in a couple days ago. We picked them up today. We came up with an alternate logo right there, BTB, and then you got our main logo on the left sleeve. So pretty exciting stuff. The shirts are awesome. Ryan did a good job. Big help. Make sure you can check out his page on our story that we posted a little while ago, and we're also following him as well. I think it's called Bulls Apparel, so you can go check that
BULZ out. Apparel.
BULZ, yep. You can go check that out. Pretty cool stuff. Appreciate him. Shout out to him.
Definitely.
So yeah, this shirt will be included in a Phillies themed gift basket that we will be giving away around this holiday season. So we are really excited for this. We're hoping everybody gets involved, all of our listeners, all of our followers. We're going to have our shirt in there. We'll have some other small Phillies knickknacks and stuff like that. We're also going to throw in a Beyond the Bank magnet as well. So that will also be included. So I will go through the instructions real quick of the flyer that I will be posting on Instagram after we are done shooting, and I will share some more and everybody will see it. So we want everybody to like the Instagram post. Make sure you are following the page, and then tag friends. The more tags, the more entries for you guys. The better chance of you winning the giveaway. Add to your story and subscribe to the YouTube channel for 5 extra entries. Remember, if you add to your story, you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you will get extra entries. So again, the more entries you have, the better chances you have of winning this Phillies basket. So It'll be pretty cool. And then the winner will be announced on December 8th. December 8th. So next Sunday, we're giving everybody a week to do this. So right when this ends, or whenever you get the chance, once I post that thing on Instagram, everybody can go at it and just start
tag your
people.
friends.
Yeah,
yep.
tag everybody.
Tag your friends. Subscribe to the YouTube.
Yep.
Follow us. All that good stuff.
Share it as much as you can. And like I said, those entries are really important. So, if you want to get 5 extra ones, add it to your story and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't so far. So, it should be really exciting. Like I said, it is now December. We're getting close to Christmas now, another, whole month, and, feeling festive. So we felt like, it was appropriate to do this for our listeners, our followers, because we appreciate you guys so much. So it's definitely exciting time for us, and we're excited as the months go along and going into next season, because got some exciting things that we have planned up our sleeve, and hoping to include and stuff like that.
It's gonna be good season.
Yeah,
I'm
it is.
Spring training, so I'm gonna try and get some vlogs, kind of stuff going. We rented a Tesla, so.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I told you.
No, you didn't. Hey.
Yeah.
Be rolling around with Tesla.
Excited. Oh yeah.
There you go.
Around Florida, we're at Clearwater Beach.
That's good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I definitely want to try it. I said I wanted to go to spring training, but we'll see. I don't know. I got to figure it out.
Yeah.
If I do, hopefully I'll make it. We'll see what happens. But either way, so like I said, make sure you do the giveaway. I'm going to post it as soon as we're done shooting here and get that underway. And then also, we called this part 2 of the off-season edition. Not sure when our next episode will be. Hopefully, things will start ramping up, especially after the winter meetings I think are happening this week. If a crazy announcement happens with the Phillies and they sign somebody of surprise, maybe we'll do an emergency podcast real quick. But yeah, we just wanted to, come back, talk a little bit about some rumors that have, been swirling and stuff like that, and felt like it was appropriate to give a little discussion, because, we were shooting the podcast. It's just,
of course, maybe we'll get one more in before the holiday, and
maybe
like
so.
That. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, and then we might go live on Instagram one of these days, just to kind of, if anything happens and stuff like that.
Of course. Oh yeah.
So, make sure you're following along there. But yeah,
all right. Yeah. Go Phils.
Go Phils. Out of here. Peace.